Hello, my name is Nani and welcome to my channel where I share with you my top tips on how to look good, feel good, and smell good from the inside out. And as you guys can tell, I do have 5 fragrances that I really want to talk to you guys about, which I truly feel like are just the ultimate signature scent worthy fragrances from my collection. These are definitely fragrances that make me feel extremely womanly. And also what I love about each of these scents is the fact that they can transition from your work day to a play date. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, the first fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be this beauty right here, which is Miss Dior's Eau de Parfum. You guys know that I'm obsessed with Dior as a fragrance house in general, so you know that I had to mention at least one Dior fragrance in this list itself. If you guys can actually see how crazy I look in the cap, just don't mind that, okay? I just took out some braids and my hair looks ridiculous, but anywho, again, this is a beautiful signature scent worthy fragrance. This is one that can transition again from your work date to a play date. It's not something that's going to offend anyone at your work. If anything, is going to do the opposite. You will definitely get tons of compliments with this fragrance, in my opinion. It's sweet, it's citrusy, it has some patchouli notes, it has some rose notes in here. But for those of you who are afraid of rose, you don't have to worry about this being like a heavily prominent rose. I do pick up on the rose simply because I love rose in fragrances. So if you're not someone that wears rose very often, you may not even be able to detect the rose in this, to be honest with you, but it is a very sweet, slightly citrusy scent. Of course, there is some patchouli in here, which again, I love patchouli in fragrances, but it does help to anchor the fragrance, helps it to last a little bit longer. The longevity isn't the best on the skin, but of course on the clothes you will get more of a longevity. On the skin, it's probably 6+ hours, but of course on your clothes you can get it to last 8-10 hours. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous scent. But again, this is one that, although it has the patchouli, because again, I know that a lot of people are afraid or don't like patchouli, it's not very dirty or earthy in this one. In my opinion, I feel like the patchouli is portrayed more as like a powdery type note, but it's not overly powdery to where it smells vintage or old school type of thing. But it's a beautiful, sweet citrus rose patchouli scent. This smells extremely important to me. I feel like if you're a corporate woman and you have to wear pantsuits all the time, this would be a gorgeous signature scent for you. And even if you're transitioning into meeting your girlfriends after work, or, you know, a hot date after work, and you have to wear a little black dress, this would still smell gorgeous and will garner you a lot of compliments. And it's definitely an attention grabbing scent, and it's still also a very professional type of scent. It's not scandalous or raunchy in any way. It's just a gorgeous, elegant, classy, beautiful signature scent. So again, this is the first one that I would recommend to you. If you do not have some type of rendition of this fragrance in your collection, you definitely need to pick it up. But if you can get the older formulation, that is one that I would definitely recommend because it's a little bit more longer lasting, but this is still just as gorgeous. So again, this is Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. Now, the next fragrance that I want to mention to you might be a little bit more difficult to see, but this is going to be Chloe's Nomad. I'm trying not to point it directly at me so you guys don't see how reckless I look right now, but this is Chloe's Nomad, and this is another scent that I just feel like is absolutely gorgeous. However, I don't think that this is a blind buy worthy scent. I feel like the more that I wear it, the more that I realize the reasons why I love it, and it's because it has a lot of very earthy, woody type notes, but I don't think that all women would really enjoy it. And so I feel like I would say definitely get a tester or like a sample or a decant or something just to test it out on your skin to make sure that it is something that works with your body chemistry. But if it is, this will probably be a staple in your collection. This is one that can be worn, of course, year round. As I mentioned, that is going to be the similarity amongst all of the fragrances that I'm mentioning in this video, that these can all be worn year round. And the beautiful thing about this scent as well is that every time I wear it, every time I smell it, there's something about it that just kind of gives me a very free-spirited type of energy, if that makes sense. It smells very like free-spirited, very adventurous, very kind of like young, wild, and free type of vibe, if that makes sense. But again, this has a very prominent oak moss note, which can definitely smell kind of like, you know, soil or mossy, but I don't think that it turns sour. I feel like the oak moss just gives it a little bit of a vintage feel, but still done in a very elegant and classy way. And so I do feel like if you do love this scent, you will absolutely fall head over heels over it. But I do feel like the oak moss is definitely very prominent, and after it transitions from the oak moss, it definitely gets kind of like a mix between the oak moss and more woody notes. So you have to like and enjoy those type of fragrances for you to really enjoy this scent. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like this is definitely a classy scent, but it's one of those scents that I feel like it's sensual and approachable, but at the same time, it's a very bold and powerful scent. It's a very meaningful scent, but at the same time, as I mentioned, it's a very free-spirited fragrance. So I hope that that makes sense, but I feel like this is a gorgeous fragrance. It radiates off the skin beautifully. In the opening, you definitely get a little bit more of the citrus note, but after that, it's more of like a fruity, earthy, woody type of scent. And it does last on the skin for hours as well, probably 7, 8+ hours on the skin, and of course on your clothes. This lasts days on my clothes. So I just absolutely love it. It's classy, it's elegant, it's unique. It's not like any other fragrance that I have in my collection, and that's why this is one that I had to recommend to you guys. This is one that will, again, still garner you many compliments in the workplace, but this is also one that if you dress it up right at nighttime for a date, they will not be able to keep their eyes and hands off of you. So I love, love, love this scent. It's not a sexy date night scent. It's not one that I would call sexy, but I feel like it's just a very powerful and sensual scent all at the same time. And it just gives me very classy, elegant, vintage, free-spirited vibes. So hopefully that makes sense. Of course, if you guys have this fragrance, let me know what your thoughts are on this, but this is a gorgeous fragrance, and again, this is one that will remain in my collection forever. So that is going to be Chloe's Nomad. Now, the next scent that I want to mention to you, I'm sure that you knew was coming because I've been mentioning to you guys that I have really fallen in love with this scent. This is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, and this is the Eau de Parfum. This is the original, not any flanker. Of course, fragrance always smells differently on the person. It depends on your body chemistry. So I would say definitely test out some of the flankers as well. But if you are a woman over the age of 25, you need some variation of Mon Guerlain in your collection. This will be an absolute staple in your collection because it's so elegant, it's so classy, but at the same time, it's sweet, it's romantic, it's intoxicating, it's a very captivating scent. It will definitely get someone's attention for sure. But there's a very, I don't know, there's a sensual nature to this fragrance that makes it just beautiful and confident and versatile, but it's still going to be a head-turning scent. The most prominent notes that you will get in this fragrance is definitely the lavender as well as the vanilla, but the longer that it lasts on your skin, it's not a sharp lavender, it's not an overly sweet or cloying vanilla. I feel like those notes mixed and blended with all of the other notes just makes this a very elegant, versatile, intoxicating scent, and it's extremely long lasting as well. This is just gorgeous. Now, I know that there are a few notes in this fragrance itself that some people may not necessarily like and feel a little bit nervous about. One of the notes could be licorice. Again, I don't have an issue with licorice if it's done well and blended well. In this fragrance itself, you do not have to worry about the licorice smelling synthetic at all. It's beautifully blended. And also another note that I feel like some people are nervous about a lot of times is the patchouli note. I love patchouli in fragrances, but honestly, the patchouli is extremely toned down. It's not a heavy patchouli. It's not going to smell, dirty or dusty or any of those things that patchouli can be portrayed as. This is just beautifully blended, and I feel like you'll definitely enjoy this in your collection. So if you don't have this, the original Mon Guerlain, or any of the other flankers, definitely test it out. Get your nose to it because I'm sure that it will become a staple in your collection. So again, that's going to be Mon Guerlain. Now, the next fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be one of my all-time favorite signature scents, which is Armani C. This one is categorized as a chypre fruity, and it was launched in 2013. The top notes are cassis buds, or blackcurrant, basically. Middle notes are freesia and rose, and then the base is vanilla, ambroxan, patchouli, and woody notes. Now this one definitely, to me, because of the black currant, this smells like a sweet red wine. A lot of times black currant can kind of smell a little bit more like a drier type of wine smell, but because of all of the additional notes in this fragrance, it definitely smells like a sweet red wine to me. So it's more of like a sweet fruity like rose with the creamy vanilla base. It basically smells like a delicious sweet red wine. This still smells extremely elegant in my opinion, very classy. It definitely has a little bit more of a mature, sophisticated take, and it does smell like a very confident, very professional type of scent. This is one that definitely can be worn year-round. As I mentioned, this is a beautiful signature scent. This is also one that I don't typically gravitate towards if I'm trying to dress a little bit more casually, but if I am trying to do something a little bit more business casual, if I'm going on a date, something along those lines, this is one that I typically gravitate towards because it's a very classy but very formal and seductive type of scent, if that makes sense. And I absolutely love this. Again, the versatility is there. This definitely lasts anywhere between maybe 7-8 hours or so on the skin, but of course if you spray the clothes, it definitely lingers a lot more. It leaves this beautiful trail behind you, but what I will say is that this does sit a little bit closer to the skin. It's not going to project hugely, but it's still a gorgeous scent, very classy, very elegant, and it just smells like a sweet, creamy, soft, seductive red wine. I absolutely love this. So again, that's Armani C. Now the next fragrance that I want to mention to you is going to be this beauty right here, which is Hypnose by Lancome. This is a gorgeous scent, and I do feel like any woman that's maybe in her upper 20s or even more like in her 30s will definitely have a deeper appreciation for this scent and how gorgeous it is. This one does open up a little bit more sweet, a fruity as well. It does have a little bit of a saltiness to it, but it's a very rich, aromatic, warm, sensual type of scent, but there is still a very light airiness about this fragrance that makes it perfect as well for daytime use. And the longer that it dries down on your skin, honestly, the more intoxicating the scent becomes. It becomes very sultry, but still elegant at the same time, which I absolutely love. This is very elegant, very classy, very feminine, but it's feminine in a very grown woman type of way. So it's not one of those fragrances that's going to project hugely. The projection and sillage is definitely moderate, but it's absolutely beautiful. The longevity isn't the best in my opinion. I feel like it lasts anywhere between maybe about 6 hours or so. Of course, if you spray it on your clothes, you'll get a little bit more longevity, but I feel like it's worth every single spray, even if I have to top off in the middle of the day. It's just worth it to me. This is a gorgeous scent. The passion flower is definitely prominent, and the longer that it lasts on your skin, the vanilla just peeks through, which makes this scent very sensual, very sophisticated, and just a gorgeous versatile fragrance. I love this fragrance so much, and I feel like a lot of women would really enjoy this in their collection as well. So definitely make sure that you guys check this out. Again, this is Hypnose by Lancome. Now, as I mentioned, I love and enjoy each of these fragrances for many different reasons, but pretty much the common thread between all of these fragrances is that they make me feel extremely feminine, extremely womanly, and they are very versatile as they do transition from daytime to nighttime easily. And I feel like that's what makes them extremely significant in my personal collection. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and make sure that you guys turn on your notifications so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are staying safe. God willing, I'll see you guys next time.